Sorry. Excuse me. Okay, so let's start with the class. Uh, I am Amit Yadav. Okay, I am having a teaching experience of around 20 years, including 12, 13 years for UPSC and various state civil services examinations. Right. I am a plus educator, having teaching on Unacademy Plus. I'm also taking several of these special classes. And if you wish, you can join my Telegram channel. That is by the name of Amit Yadav Foundation. Right. So several of the notes and other study material I am uploading there, and also on the Telegram channel, uh, you can get the notifications for my special classes, plus classes, and other classes. One thing more, if you are downloading app now, means after 23rd of November. Okay, so if you are downloading app and you start using Unacademy after 23rd November, then in order to see free classes also, you would need a referral code. So you can use this referral code. Yeah, it's for free. And once you use this referral code, then all the free classes, free quiz, all that classes would be open for you. Okay. So first, something about Unacademy. This is an Academy learning app where in one single app, one single means a platform, you can have structured batches with the top educators. Okay, the batches are very much well planned according to your requirements. The batches are in Hindi medium, English medium, and bilingual. They like I am taking batches which are belonging to English medium. We are also having late night batches as well as 2 year batches for those who are in their degree courses. Your 100% syllabus coverage would be there. Along with that, Unacademy is having a vast range of optional subjects for exams like UPSC Civil Services examination, sorry, or for that matter, UPPCS, and many state PSCs are they are still going for one or two optional subjects. So a vast range of options like public administration, sociology, then philosophy, mathematics, psychology, almost all the popular optional subjects are available there. Then Unacademy will provide you with a prelims test series with evaluation, likewise your marks, whatever you have scored in which topics you have fared well, in which you are not able to fare well, all those things. Along with that, there would be mains test series with evaluation, similar evaluation which I have told you right now. Dedicated doubt clearing classes. Likewise, I am taking classes on Plus. So every third or fourth of my class, that is a doubt clearing class. Then sectional quiz will be there. Every seventh, eighth class will be quiz. Daily current affairs are there. Then essay writing and answer means mains answer writing practice is there, along with interview. preparation. Okay, so wholesome means you can prepare in a very very well organized manner, because otherwise if you suppose if you are preparing on your own, then that study is not that much organized. What generally happens that many of the students, they used to fare well, fare very very well in one or two subjects, but again in one or two subjects they perform very poor because their studies are not well organized. So by using this app, by using their subscription, by using joining the course on an academy, your studies can get very well organized, right? Now this is something about plus UPSC subscription. Its cost is 49,500 rupees per month, that is 4,125 per month. Okay? Now if in this you are using referral code, that is Amit Yadav Foundation, then it will be reduced by 10%, right? So 4125 is your monthly cost. Daily cost is around rupees, I think 130 or so. Also deduct 10% discount, so it is around 120 rupees per day. In case of 24 month, it is 3000 rupees per month, that is 100 rupees per day. And if you are using my code, that is Amit Yadav Foundation, then it will be reduced to around 90 rupees per day. So it is a very very exceptionally reasonable thing. And for 36 months, if you are first year student or still undergraduate, then it is 90,000 rupees for the whole course, which comes around to around 2,500 rupees per month, or around almost 80 rupees per day. Again, if you are using my code, then it will be reduced to around 75 rupees per day. So again, it is an exceptionally reasonable thing which you can get. Okay. Now, now again, so you can have along with that you can have iconic subscription on an academy. The fee for that iconic subscription is this one. Just hold on. This is the fee, 69,500 for 1 year and things like that. Okay, so means if you are using this my code, so on iconic also you would be having a 10% discount, and along with that you would be having your personal mentor who will guide you throughout your preparation. Okay, so these are the things. Okay, just hold on. Now you can get subscription. You can apply my code, that is Amit Yadav Foundation. By using this code, you are going to get 10% extra discount on your fee. See, so this would be the final fee for your 6 month. This would be your final fee for 1 year, and this would be for 2 year, and this would be for 3 year if you are using this code. You can also apply the code of Unacademy, that is UPSC CSE. Again, you will get 10% discount in that also. No issues in that. Chali. So let's start with today's topic about Unacademy, about courses. We will talk later on in between the classes also. But let's start with the courses with our topic for today, that is fundamental rights. Okay, so the topic for today is fundamental rights. It is not possible to finish complete topic in 1 hour. So what we will do, we will look at the synopsis of complete topic, and one particular subtopic we will get into detail, like right to equality we will get into details, and for rest of the fundamental rights we would have a bird's eye view or a synoptic view of this topic. So firstly, what are rights? No, it is a very, very common word. You must have listened: fundamental rights, legal rights, traditional rights, natural rights, human rights. But the big thing is that what are rights? So basically, rights are in the form of justified claims which are recognized by law. Means as an individual, you are having some claims or you are having some demands. That means these things must belong to me as a human, as a citizen. I must get these things. Okay, and if the law of the land recognizes that okay, this person should get these things, then automatically it becomes your right. Okay, now depending upon which law is recognizing them, rights can be legal rights, means if they are recognized by an ordinary law. Yeah, ordinary law is that law which is made by your parliament, state legislatures, like right to information. So under that right to information, to get information becomes your right. Since it is given by an ordinary law, that is right to information, so RTI is your legal right. Okay. Now, rights can be constitutional right, which means constitution is a supreme law, and if any of the provision, if in any of the articles that particular right is mentioned, then it will become your constitutional right, or it can be fundamental right. Okay. Now see, now fundamental right means uh, rights belonging to that part of your constitution, that particular part of your constitution which is guaranteed in nature. Means it cannot be even take away by an amendment of the constitution or whatsoever majority the parliament or the legislature is having. They are simply guaranteed to you. So that particular part which is having guaranteed rights, that is called fundamental rights. In India, in US they call it bill of rights. So names can be different, but the purpose and the content is same. Getting my point? So in case of Indian constitution, this is your Indian constitution, this is part 3. So those rights which are guaranteed in nature and placed in part 3, they become your fundamental right, and rest of the rights written anywhere else outside part 3 in the constitution, they becomes your constitutional rights. ठीक है. Now, uh, it's a different matter that our judiciary have interpreted rights in a different way, and right to property has been removed from them. But the original purpose was to make them guaranteed, so that these upcoming majorities or upcoming governments cannot take them away from the citizens. Then in India, in Indian Constitution, this is Indian. In Indian Constitution, they are inspired from the Bill of Rights under US Constitution. है ना? Now, always remember one thing, that the original Constitution of USA, original US Constitution, which was framed in 1787 and was enforced in 1789. It was simply an agreement among the states. There was nothing like people of America, and no rights were given to the people of America, no fundamental rights were given to people. However, by the first 10 Amendments Act in 1791, by these 10 acts, 10 Amendment Acts, 10 articles or 10 provisions were added, and these 10 provisions they became Bill of Rights. So in these 10 provisions, some rights were guaranteed to Americans. That means they cannot be taken away even by an amendment of the Constitution. In that sense, they are guaranteed. No matter which government is going to come, how much majority that government is having, these rights simply cannot be taken away by you. Why? Because they are very, very essential for the development of an individual personality, for creating those conditions in which an individual can develop his own self. So in this sense, they are very significant. Okay, so remember, original US Constitution do not contains any, but they were added in 1791. Now these rights represent those guaranteed rights which cannot be taken away even by an amendment of the Constitution. Now, if you are having some basic knowledge, then you must be wondering that if the fundamental rights are guaranteed in nature, then why right to property was omitted from Indian Constitution? How Parliament was able to do that, and what the Supreme Court was doing? Means the rights are guaranteed, you are taking away rights of the people, then what the court is doing? So the logic or the argument which was given was that we are not taking right to property. We are not taking right to property, we are simply making it a legal right under Article 300A. So that right was not taken, it was converted from fundamental right to legal right. So that argument was given by the government in the Supreme Court, which was accepted. Okay. Now see, part 3 of the Constitution under Articles 12 to Article 35. Okay. They provides for the fundamental rights. And this I think you might be knowing. So these rights are intended to be guaranteed in nature. Now, along with these fundamental rights, there are supporting provisions also. No? So, in a very nutshell, in a very brief manner, let me go through them. Like it starts from Article 12, 13, 14. No. So here fundamental rights starting. Article 12 gives us the definition of the word state against which we are having right. Article 13 is saying that all those laws which are going against fundamental rights would be declared as null and void, means no law can violate any fundamental right. So this was given in Article 13. Anyway, originally the Constitution provides for 7 fundamental rights, but by the 44th Amendment of 1978 of the Constitution, the right to property was made a legal right under Article 300. Now, इसको थोड़ा सा समझ लो. Now, what happens? Suppose if you are having a fundamental right of right to property, which was given in Article 31. Now it says that state can take away property from you only under two conditions. And originally, which was there, only under two conditions. Firstly, it can take away your property only for public purpose. It's not like that they are taking your property and giving to a builder to build a township. No, for a public purpose like road, like building a factory, defense purpose means public purpose should be there. Secondly, state can take away your property only after paying you compensation. Only after paying you compensation, which means the value of your property at market price. Okay. Now suppose state is making a law, and by that law, state is taking your property. It is acquiring your property, means that law should provide you with adequate compensation. If that law is not providing adequate compensation, then it would be a violation of your fundamental right, and under Article 13 it would be declared as null and void. So that was the significance of the word fundamental right, or right to property as a fundamental right. But now it has become a legal right under Article 300A. Now what happened? Now the state would make a law to take away your property, ठीक? And no matter what amount they are giving you, whatever amount they are giving you, whatever under whatever condition they are taking you cannot challenge that law for anything. So that is the difference being a fundamental right and a legal right. Means in a legal right, it all depends upon parliament that what right they are giving you, and whenever they wish, they can take away right. They say under the present law for property acquisition, the I think the provision is of giving twice the value of the property. Okay, but it depends upon parliament. For tomorrow they can change it and they can make it half also. You cannot do anything. You cannot challenge that law. Getting my point? So that is the significance of having something like fundamental right. Okay. So this has been abolished and now it is providing for only for six fundamental rights. Okay. चलिए, let's see them one by one. Now, the first fundamental right which we are having is right to equality, which is being provided under Article 14 to Article 16. Second right is right to freedom under Article 19 to 22. Third is right against exploitation under Article 23 and 24. Fourth is right to freedom of religion under Article 25 to 28. Fifth is cultural and educational rights under Article 29 and 30. And the sixth one is your right to constitutional remedies under Article 32. So these are the fundamental rights, six fundamental rights which are available to us by the Constitution. Okay? Now see, now first is right to equality, which is having Article 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Basically, all are talking about equality, but they are talking about equality in different perspectives, in different aspects of the term. Likewise, Article 14, right? Article 14, when it talks about equality, it talks about legal equality, which is there in court, equality before law. Means law, those who are equal, for them law should be equal, that we are seeing in detail just now. Article 15, it again talks about equality, but in social aspect. Means as a member of society, all should be equal. Article 16, again it talks about equality, but it is talking about equality in matters of public employment only. Getting my point? So Article 14 was talking about equality in general terms. It is talking about a specific type of equality, that is means as a member of society, all are equal. This is talking about equality in a specific term, that is in matters of public employment. Article 17, it is simply abolishing untouchability so that that practice can be not there, which is creating divide. And similarly, Article 18, it is abolishing titles. Okay, so all are talking about them, but in different aspects. Then we have right to freedom under Article 19, 20, 21, 21A, and 22. So Article 19 basically it is giving us six fundamental freedoms. Earlier it was giving us seven freedoms, but again after 44th Amendment, one freedom was abolished. So now it is giving us six fundamental freedom. Means as a citizen, you are free to do these things like freedom of speech and expression, freedom to assemble peacefully without harm, freedom to form association, union, or cooperative societies, freedom to move freely throughout the territory of India, freedom to reside and settle in any part of India, and finally the freedom to carry on any trade, occupation, or business. Right. So these are the six basic freedoms which are given to us by Article 19. Now see, unlike US Constitution where there is no restriction, in India we believe that freedoms can be enjoyed only by living in society. That means that for the welfare also of society, some reasonable restrictions have to be imposed upon your freedom. So, Article 19, along with freedoms, it is also giving us some set of reasonable restriction. Means these restrictions which can be imposed by the state upon your freedom in the interest of society. So, on one hand, we are having individual, and on the other hand, we are having society. Individual cannot exercise his freedom because in the beginning of the class we have seen that what are rights are in the form of claim. You are not going to claim anything to yourself only. You are going to make a claim among others, and we live in society. So individual, for him rights are there, but for the sake of society, for the sake of social order, social maintenance, reasonable restrictions can be imposed. So what this constitution is trying to do, these are rights, these are reasonable restrictions. So what our constitution under Article 19 is trying to do, it is trying to strike a balance, right? It is trying to strike a balance between the rights of the individual and the stability and order of the society, so that both can continue uh, in a mutually cooperative manner. Then Article 20. Now what Article 20 is saying? Now see, if under Article 19 you are giving freedom with reasonable restriction, you do not follow those reasonable restrictions, then what will do? Then state will punish you because you are not following restrictions. Okay? How state will punish you? By making a law. Article 20 talks about such type of law. Whenever a state would make such type of law, there are some minimum things which should not be there in such law. Like the law should not be ex post facto. Ex post facto means making a law and enforcing it from that date, means from an earlier date. Getting my point? Suppose today I am committing an offense, then I should be punished only according to that law which is in force at this place where I am sitting and enforced at this time. Okay? Then it also provides protection against double jeopardy. Now, what can be double jeopardy? Double jeopardy means a person can be punished for an offense only once. No person can be punished for the same thing more than once, and against self-incrimination. Self-incrimination simply means that nobody can force me to become an evidence against myself. So, means if any law providing for is providing for punishment, basically your criminal laws हैं, providing for punishment, they must have these basic necessities. So they are given 20. Then there would be a procedure by which you can be punished. There must be a procedure by which you will be punished. Your liberty and life would be taken by the state. So 21 talks about that procedure. 21A is your right to education, and Article 22, it provides us with again with some rights like to be presented before the nearest magistrate within 24 hours. Okay, right to be consulted by a legal practitioner, and finally it also have provisions for this your, I mean, preventive detention. Okay. Then similarly, we are having next fundamental right, that is, excuse me, that is your right against exploitation. Okay, so Article 23 and Article 24 means nobody can exploit you. That is guaranteed you. If anybody is exploiting you, state is there. Article 23 provides protection against forced labor or any that type of labor which you are not doing by your own choice, so that you can live a free life, like your begar, okay, all these type of labor. Whereas Article 24, it is giving protection against child labor. These things show, means they have been put in articles. These things show that what was the condition of our society before the framing of the constitution. Then, fourth fundamental right which we are having is the right to freedom of religion under Article 25 and Article 26. Now, see, India is a secular country, which simply means that every citizen is free to pursue any religion or to remain atheist and to follow any religion of one's own choice, because all the religions are considered as good. So, what Article 25 is providing? Article 25 is providing freedom to freedom of conscience, practice, propagate a religion of one's own choice. So all these things they are given by article number this 25. Now see, Indian secularism means that all must have equality of opportunity. right? Now suppose some section in Hindu society are there which are not allowed by other sections to enjoy their religious freedom. They're not allowing, they're not allowed to enter temples, they are not allowed to take out their religious processions. That means 25 also provide that state can make law, and by that law state can bring reform in Hindu religious institution, so that all the Hindus can enjoy their freedom of religion. Then we have Article 26, which is for religious communities. Means in matters of religion, religious communities can means they can manage their own affairs. कैसे आपको आरती करनी है, कैसे आपको पूजा करनी है. When you have to take procession like that Rath Yatra of Jagannath, when you have to take out that Rath Yatra, all the things that liberty has been given to you, you can manage them. Similarly, Article 27, it prohibits the state from from imposing any tax, the proceeds of which or the collection of which will go for the promotion of any particular religion. Means it can be used for the promotion of all the religion, but no particular religion, because our state is a secular state and it is not having any official religion of its own. Otherwise, होता क्या है कि suppose your state is having an official religion like Hinduism. That means now all those people who are not Hindu, they have to pay a tax for living in India, because India is a Hindu nation. It is a Hindu country. So if you are not a Hindu, you have to pay tax to live in India. That was like jizya. But India is a secular country. Indian state is means all the religions belongs to India, but India is not having any official religion or any particular religion of its own. So nobody is going to pay any tax. And lastly, we are having Article 28, which prohibits the religious instruction to be imparted in educational institutions. So these articles they provide for secularism. Then we have fifth fundamental right, that is cultural and educational right, comprising of Article 29 and 30. What Article 29 says? It simply says that any section of citizens. So the word uses section, which includes your minority and majority both. So always do remember 29. Under 29, the majorities can preserve their culture, including religion. Under 30, that is a special privilege only for minorities. So any section of citizens which are having their own language, own culture, own script, they can preserve it. How they would preserve it? By establishing their own educational institution. Under Article 30, minorities are having right to establish their own educational institution so that they can preserve their culture by giving religious instruction or religious education in that particular institution. Like Christian minority institution, in which convent schools you might have studied, there that Bible reading is there, because I am also from such a school only. Then ठीक है, all these rights are good, but suppose the state is making a law violating your rights, and in that law the state have written that these laws cannot be challenged in any court of law, then what you will do? That's why the right to appeal against violation of your right is itself made a fundamental right under Article 32. That's why Dr. Ambedkar called Article 32 as the soul of Indian Constitution. Why? Because all these rights, they are simply meaningless if their violation cannot be challenged in a court of law. And under Article 32, you can challenge that violation directly in Supreme Court of India. That is the essence. Means not only your rights are guaranteed, but to appeal against violation of that right, it is also guaranteed. It can also not be taken away from you. So these fundamental rights are given to us by the Constitution. Yeah. So in this class, it is not possible for me to go through all of them in detail, but I will try to cover this right to equality in detail. This we can cover in this class only. Chलिए. Now, as I told you, right to equality it comprises of Article 14 to Article 18. चलिए. So first we are having Article 14. What it says, it provides equality before law. है ना? If I was to recite the actual words, Article 14 is saying that the state shall not deny equality before law to any person or equal protection of laws within the territory of India. That means, firstly, it is providing equality before law. Now, see what this article is basically saying. Firstly, that in India there will be rule of law. Always do remember, there is no rule of president, there is no rule of prime minister, there is no rule of any person, because earlier in king's time there was rule of man. When kings were there, then at that time there was rule of Man. Now man is a man. Men are emotional. Suppose I am the king, then for my family members, I am having a different type of emotion, like emotion of love. But for others, I might have emotions of hatred. That means I am going to give them a different type of treatment and I am going to give them a different type of treatment. For the same offense, I would punish them differently and I would punish them differently. And it used to happen in our society also. है ना? That's why it says that there will not be any rule of man, there is rule of law. Now, how this rule of law work? ये समझ लो. We are having a supreme law, that is Constitution. Under Constitution, Parliament is going and state legislature they are going to make ordinary law. This law gives authority to the your officers, that is your executive, and they will do whatever is written in law. So ultimately, what is functioning? Law is functioning. According to law, the society is being governed. So firstly, it established rule of law in the country. Then it contains two phrases. First is equality before law, which is taken from England and it is said to be a negative term. Second is equal protection of the laws, which is taken from America and it is said to be a positive term. Now, what is negative? Anything which prevents you from doing something, that is called negative. Like negative attitude means it is that attitude which is not allowing you to do anything. This I cannot do, this I cannot do, that is your negative attitude. That's why it is called negative, because it prevents you from doing something. And what is positive? What is positive? Anything which allows you to do something is called positive. Means that attitude which allows you to do something. Yes, I can do it. I will do it. That is called positive attitude. So negative means it prevents the state. It prevents the state from making discrimination among those who are equal. Means equal should be treated equally. Now, as a citizen, you are equal, I am equal, President of India is equal, Prime Minister is equal, means as a citizen, all are equal. That's why all are having single vote. If President is going to vote, then he is having one person, one vote. As a common man, I am also having one person, one lines. So many fault lines are there in Indian society. There is inequality in terms of caste, there is inequality in terms of gender, there is inequality in terms of your location. Like in urban, you are living in urban place, rural place, hilly areas. Difference of facilities is there. There is difference in terms of religion. Means people are not equal by nature, and one fine day you are declaring them as equal means by default of they are not automatically going to become equal. They are still unequal, and if you are treating unequals equally, that is also not justified. है ना? आप एक गधे घोड़े में रेस नहीं करा सकते, उसमें हमेशा घोड़ा ही जीतेगा, गधा पीछे ही रहेगा. That means that those who remain backward, है ना? I myself belong from a backward class. Means those who have remained backward in the historical evolution of society, for them the state must took some extra steps, must provide them with something extra so that in future they can attain equality with others. Means equal protection of laws. Those who have remained backward, their interest would be provided by the state. Their interest would be provided by the state. And since many sections of society are there which have remained backward, that's why the word laws is used. So many laws. For women, there can be a different law. Like in MPPSC, there is reservation for women. For SC, there can be a different law. For OBC, there can be a different law. For children, there can be a different law. For people belonging to hilly areas, there can be a different law. Getting my point? So for different sections of society, state can make different laws so that their interest can be protected. Clear? That has been taken from America, and since it allows the state to identify that who are different and how their interest can be protected. That's why it is called positive, because it is allowing the state to make discrimination between the people. It is available to all the persons, means not only to citizens but also to aliens within India. Within the territory of India, it allows for classification by the state but prohibits class legislation. That means, now see, three persons are there: X, Y, Z. He is a general, he is OBC, means your other backward classes, and this third person is an SC. ठीक? Now on Independence Day, we simply declare all of them are equal. Do you think all of them are equal? One is extremely poor. One from his birth, right from his birth, is facing social discrimination, not allowed to enter any public program or anything like that. This one, he is also backward. He is means forward, you know, given all the opportunities. Now, simply by declaring that all are equal, they by default do not become equal. For the time being, state have to protect his interest and his interest so that in future equality can be there. It means state has having the power to discriminate among them. This one is different, this one is different, and this one is different, and separate laws has been made for them. This is the meaning that it allows for classification by the state, but prohibits class legislation. Now, what is class legislation? Class legislation means that where people are equal, but you are considering them as unequal. Likewise, a Brahmin and a Dalit, they too committed an offense, the same offense, both of them have committed together. But now what you are doing? You are making a separate law for Brahmin and you are making a separate law for Dalit. Separate punishment for Brahmin, separate punishment for Dalit. This is class legislation. Right? Because you are considering Brahmin as a separate class, this is a separate, this is class legislation. Where people are equal, they should be treated equally. What caste have to do with offense? What caste have to do? Caste is something different, offense is something different. Both have committed the same offense, both must be punished in the same by the same law, given the same punishment. Getting my point? So where people are equal, they should be treated equally. And if there is any classification between them, then it is called class legislation. Okay, so it prohibits that. Sorry. Now something more about an academy. This is very very useful for you. It's free. T20 daily current affairs test series. Okay, so daily current 20 questions test series are there. Do one thing, follow any educator. There are free classes, special classes if you're not able to take subscription. Mostly of the educators are going with their this current affairs class. Just attend the current affairs class, make notes of daily current affairs, and in the evening, okay, in the evening, I think it's at 7:30. Where is my marker? In the evening at 7:30, there are 20 questions for 20 minutes time. 20 questions on daily current affairs. Just solve these questions. You would learn the current affairs and you would gain confidence that yes, you are able to solve those questions. Then there are a number of free learning platforms on Unacademy also for those who are by any reason, those who are not having subscription. First is your YouTube. There is Unacademy Articulate, free live classes, daily current affairs, UPSC CSE special event notification, book summary. Many things are there in this Articulate. Then Telegram. On Telegram, you can have found this Unacademy Articulate, where you can get free live classes notification, free PDF study material. For that matter, you can also join my Telegram group for study material. That is Amit Yadav Foundation. By that name, you can search me. Daily free YouTube sessions, UPSC special event notification, free test series notification. All of this comes in. YouTube Unacademy is having a number of YouTube channels. Not only this one, other channels are also there. You can join any of them. Okay. Now something about iconic subscription that I have already told you. So this is FIFA Plus. You can use this code and you can get 10% off. Chali. So after Article 14, what we are having? We are having Article 15. Okay? Now, as I've told you, Article 14 was providing for legal equality, means equality before law. Similarly, Article 15 is providing for social equality, means equality as a member of society. Now, what it is doing? It prohibits the state from discriminating against. Means if a state wishes, it can discriminate in favor of a citizen. Means discrimination can be of two types. Means suppose X and Y is there. X and Y are there. You are considering X as different and Y are different. Why? One purpose can be to favor Y, and one purpose can be to disfavor X. So what it is preventing the state is from doing this type of discrimination. You cannot make discrimination against anyone. Yeah, you can make discrimination in favor of some. Suppose you are having upper caste, you are having lower caste. So you cannot make discrimination against them. You can make discrimination in favor of them. Yeah, like reservation for girls. Now, reservation for girls do not mean that state is working against boys. No, it is not working against boys. It is simply working in favor of girls. Why? Because of their social backward position, they need the favor of the state. Then only in future they can attain equality with boys. That's why. So, from discriminating against any citizen, now this right is available only to citizen. Under Article 14, it was available to all citizen and alien, but under Article 15, it is available only to citizen on grounds only of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, or any of them. That means what? That means state cannot discriminate against any citizen on grounds of religion. It cannot make a law that, oh, for murder, if he is a Hindu, the punishment is this. If he is a Muslim, then punishment would be this. And giving more punishment for Muslim or for Hindu whatsoever. Means you cannot discriminate among them on grounds only of or for race or on the basis of caste or on the basis of sex, that for men things are different, for women things are different, or for place of birth, or miss, because all the Indians are one and the same. India is one. We are having single citizenship. You are, no matter you are being born in any part of India, but simply you are the citizen of India. However, there are certain exceptions to this generality. Firstly, state can make special provision for women and child. Now you are having in MP, you are having Ladli Lakshmi Yojana. Why not Ladla Ganesh Yojana? Why not for boys? Now you would say that this is discrimination on grounds only of sex, because the difference between a boy and a girl child is only of sex. But first, two things are there. First, this discrimination is to favor girls and it is not against boys. If state is giving free food to girls, to girl child, that do not mean that boys are hungry. Boys are not getting any food. Or if state is going to protect girl child from female feticide, it do not mean that boys are being killed in the womb of the mother. तो एज अ जनरल परसेप्शन हम हमारा बिलीव करना होता है, हम मानते हैं कि नो, इफ रिजर्वेशन इज गिवन टू गर्ल्स दैट मीन्स इट इज अगेंस्ट बॉयज. नो, इट इज टू फेवर गर्ल्स. यू आर ऑलरेडी हैविंग सो मेनी सीट्स, दे आर ओपन फॉर यू, है ना. फेस कॉम्पिटिशन देयर. So the state can is work for make a special provision for women and child, like maternity relief, that is only for women, only for mother, not for father. Then for girl child, like your that what is the name of that scheme? Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, that is only for girls. Or if you are having a girl child and the only girl child, then she would be taught free in your central schools. Only for girl child, not for boys. Why? Because Article 15 is allowing the state to make a special provision for women and child. Secondly, then I think you are getting my point. Because see, if you are saying that all are equal, and if you are going for equality between men and women, because of historical reason, she was already having a backward position. She is here, man is here. How you can treat them equal? She would already always she would remain behind. Competition is always among equals. So if she is here, she need to be here. You have to do something extra to place her on the equal footing of men. Then for socially and educationally backward classes of citizens. Okay? For socially and educationally. And since the word and is there, that means a class or a category of citizens, it must be socially backward as well as it must be economically backward. Now, how to know that a means class or category or group of citizens is socially backward? This is your society. This is social stratification. Suppose in Hindu society, what traditionally has been the case, at the top we were having Brahmins, followed by Kshatriya, followed by Vaishya, and then we were having Shudra or Dalit. So they were having the inferior position, that is their social backwardness. That in society, since they were lying at the bottom, that means they were denying equality of opportunity when compared to particularly these upper two class. So this is social backwardness. Now, how to know that a class is economically backward or not? That depends upon your income. That depends upon your income. Okay? Sorry. This word is not socially. This is educationally. educationally. So means that depends upon your income. Means if you are having income and you are still not sending your child to school, that's your fault. But if you are not having income and your child is not able to go to school, he is not being allowed to go to school because he is also socially backward, then state will do something for you. Then for SC and ST, no matter if they are, even if they are rich, firstly they are not rich, but even if some in some of the cases they are rich, but still they are so socially backward that they are not allowed in positions of equality. And lastly, which by 103rd Amendment was added for economically weaker sections of society. So these are the exceptions. ठीक है means state will not discriminate against any citizen on grounds of religion RRCSP religion race caste sex or place of birth but for them state can make different law. For them, state can make different law because then only equality can be achieved because their initial position is very bad or very lower. Tell you. Then Article 16, it provides for equality of opportunity in matters of public employment. Getting my point? It provides for equality of opportunity in matters of public employment. How? By prohibiting the state from making any discrimination against any citizen on grounds only of religion, race, caste, descent, sex, place of birth, or place of residence, or any of them. Now, suppose Government of India have brought out a notification. They have brought out a notification for some for recruitment to some post like your UPSC CSE. Okay. Now, this article provides that on these grounds of religion, grounds of race, grounds of caste, descent, sex, place of birth, or place of residence, all must have equality of opportunity. You cannot say that person belonging to this religion should cannot apply, person belonging to that religion cannot apply, or person from this race, or person from this caste, or person whose ancestors were doing that work or person from this gender or person who was born there or residing there they cannot apply this simply cannot be done other grounds can be there other grounds like age there you can make discrimination below 21 years you cannot give the exam above 32 years you cannot give the exam okay similarly your physical fitness that can be a ground for uniform services means you should have this much height this much you should have chest size this much should be your means heartbeat medical fitness standards all this is a reasonable ground ठीक है getting my point so these grounds can be there to discriminate against but these grounds cannot be used why? Because they are not in the control of any individual. They are accidental. They are not by choice. So you means I am born Yadav. Means by accidentally I had been born in a Yadav family. It was not by choice. So it is not my fault. Then why to discriminate me? Similarly, like Article 15, there are some exceptions to this Article 16 also. Like Parliament by law can provide requirement of residence for some employments under the state. Means Parliament can make a law, only Parliament, not state legislature. Yeah, that you have to read Article 35. There it is given. Only Parliament can make a law, and by that law, Parliament can allow that okay, for these type of employment, you have to be a resident in that particular state only. You need to have a domicile in that state only. But as of now, no such law is there. Remember this thing? No such law is there. There is requirement of residence in case of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. For some categories of employment, there is a requirement for them, but it is not according to a law made by Parliament. It is by virtue of Article 371. Because under Article 371, they are having special status. Okay? And by that special status, some say that requirement of residence is there, not under a law made by Parliament. Then, for backward classes of citizens. Now, see, Article 15, remember Article 15, what it was saying? Firstly, socially and educationally backward classes, then SC, ST, but but in Article 16, the word used only is backward classes of citizens. It do not says socially backward, educationally backward, SC, ST, nothing. It simply says that state can make special provision for backward classes. But reading them together, the meaning comes same, that the backward classes mean same thing which was written there, that is socially and educationally backward classes, then your SC and your ST. Then it also provides that state can make a law, and by that law state can provide for requirement of a person belonging to a what is this, to a particular religion. है ना? Suppose just for example, suppose there is a mosque in of Indian Army. Now there is a vacancy for mullah ya qazi in for that particular mosque. Now under Article 16, if a state cannot make any discrimination on grounds only of religion, that do not mean that a Hindu is going to accept occupy that post. For in such cases, they can provide that here the person should belong to this religion only. And lastly, by 103rd Amendment, Modi ji have provided that state can make a special law reservation for economically weaker sections of society. Right? It includes those sections of society which are not covered under your OBC, SC, and ST. So those poor who are not covered under these reservation, for them state can give 10% reservation in public services, and under Article 15 it can give 10% reservation in colleges, admissions and educational institutions. Okay? Now we have Article 17 which abolishes untouchability. Now what is untouchability? Untouchability simply means that some sections of people or some caste, basically on the basis of caste, some castes are there, some divisions are there, which are considered as so much religious impure or religiously so much polluted that even if they are going to touch you, you are going to become polluted. So because of that thing, because of that mentality that they are religiously polluted person, they are religiously polluted people, persons, you are denying them all the opportunities which are available to other members of society. They cannot enter a temple. They cannot open a shop. They cannot move from in front of your house. They cannot take out their marriage procession, that is Bharat. They cannot take out religious procession. They cannot do this. They cannot do that. They cannot do that. Means every right is violated. They simply cannot do anything except few things which are allotted for them only. Those type of menial jobs which you have allocated for them only, you have to do this only. Rest, nobody is going to do this. है ना? So that is because of untouchability. And our traditional law, it was accepting untouchability, that okay, untouchability is something good. That's why in previous time before independence, if you are practicing untouchability, that means you are not doing any offense. So firstly, Article 17 says that untouchability is abolished. Now there is nothing like untouchability, है ना? It's like you can compare it with your triple talaq. Earlier, triple talaq was valid. So if a husband is giving triple talaq to his wife, then it is okay. It is okay. But what court says, triple talaq is abolished. Now there is nothing like instant triple talaq. Similarly, now there is nothing like untouchability. But still, if you believe in untouchability, and because of that untouchability, you practice of untouchability, you are imposing limitation or restriction upon some people. You cannot do this because you are untouchable. You cannot do this because you are untouchable. Then the Constitution says that it shall be an offense punishable in accordance with the provision of a law made by Parliament. So, if you still believe in untouchability, that's your problem. Keep on believing, but do not practice it, and do not impose any disability upon any person because of this practice. You believe in untouchability, stay at your home. Do not get outside, because outside all are free to move in the city, move in the market. You cannot simply impose any disability. Disability means the other person was able to do that, but you are not allowing him to do. So you cannot impose any disability upon any person arising out of that practice. Okay? And if you are doing that, then it will be an offense punishable in accordance with a law made by Parliament. Now, which law is made by Parliament? Parliament have enacted Untouchability Offences Act of 1955, which has been renamed as Protection of Civil Liberties Act 1955. So that law prescribes punishment, that for what all offences, what punishment would be given to you. However, it excludes social control measures. Like suppose your society believes that go hatya or killing a cow is bad, and you have killed a cow. What you have done? You have killed a cow. Now nobody is coming to your house, and nobody is inviting to your house. Nobody is allowing you to means to enter into or to means intermingle with the society or social affairs. Now that do not comes under untouchability. That is for social control measures. That is very much necessary for the maintaining order in the society. Getting a point? So untouchability simply means by virtue of the caste of a person, because you are considering him as religiously impure or religiously polluted. So that is totally banned. Then Article 18 says that it is the last article of that equality. No title. Now, what are title? Title are inherited means that distinctions like your Rai Bahadur. Now, there is no problem with Rai Bahadur if you are writing against it, using it as a prefix with your name, that there is no problem. But the problem is that there are several privileges attached to this word Rai Bahadur. But the problem is with this privileges. Now, since these titles, they are inherited in nature. So means you have got them not because you have done anything, you have achieved anything. Simply because of you belong to that family. That's why you got that title. I do not belong to that family. I cannot get that title. So it's not your achievement that you are having. It's not my fault that I am not having. Then why you must have privileges? Why that inequality is there? That's why it simply says that no title shall be conferred by the state. The Indian state is not going to give any title. Your military distinction like general, captain, air chief marshal, or academic distinction like doctors, engineers, they are considered as distinction which can be achieved by anyone and not as titles. Title means necessarily it has to be inherited. Then no citizen of India shall accept any title from any state. So neither the Indian state recognizes any title, neither Indian state would give any title, and nor any Indian citizen can accept it from any foreign state. That's why when England or the Britain, they tried to give the title of Sir to Sachin Tendulkar denied it. What he said that my constitution do not allows me to get any title. Any private body can give, because it is preventing you from accepting it from any foreign state. If private body is giving, suppose for tomorrow, Bollywood give the title of Big B to Amitabh Bachchan, King Khan to Shah Rukh Khan, Master Blaster, Little Master. They used to give the title. They zero. State would not give, and you cannot accept from any foreign state. But from a private party, you can accept, or a private party can give in India as well as outside. Then no person who is not a citizen of India. Now suppose a foreigner is there who is working with the government of India. Okay? So, if such a person who is not a citizen of India but he is working with the government of India, then he, he should also not accept any title from any foreign state except with the permission of the President of India. Now, that is central government. So, if the central government is allowing him, then only he can accept any title. Otherwise, he cannot accept any title from any foreign state, also including his mother state also. Lastly, no person holding any office of profit or trust under the state. Now, this means it includes citizens also, it includes aliens also, it includes all, means foreigners also, without the consent of president except any present, because it was a very big problem with Indian means government employees. They used to get bribes in the form of present. That is basically from British time. They used to ask for nazrana. भाई थोड़ा नजराना तो लेके आओ है ना, that is the thing. Present, emoluments means monetary privileges, office or any kind of any privilege under any foreign state. So if you are an Indian, you are a foreigner, and if you are working with the working with the Indian government, you cannot accept any gift, any present, any emolument except with the permission of the President of India. ठीक? That means there is no privilege except your salary and your power, which is given by law. There is no privilege with you as being a government employee. No special privilege, because otherwise, in some states like France, the administrators, they are having a very privileged position there. Even the laws are different for them. But in India, everything is same. You are a government servant, still you are a common man. You need not to accept any present or anything. Okay, so these are the things. So basically, what this right to equality is doing, right to equality is basically removing all the privileges. No privilege should be available to them. In those aspects where we are equal, same law would be there and all would be same. Like that murder. For murder, under IPC, we are having section 302, which gives punishment for homicide, that is commonly called murder. Now, if any citizen is committing murder, he would be treated under this section only, same section. Even if president is committing a murder, then first, because he is president, first he would be impeached. Now he become a common man, and now he again would be treated according to article 302. So whatever punishment is for you, the same punishment is for you. Same is true in case of privilege also. If you cleared UPSC exam, you will become IAS. If you cleared, you will become IAS. So same privilege, same disability is enforced upon all by the same law, that is means all are equal. Clear? So firstly, this right to equality, it establishes rule of law. Secondly, it removes all the inequalities, social, in matters of public employment, untouchability, titles. Basically, it is trying to say that all are equal in this country. But in those cases where initially people are unequal, then we have to bring them equal, and then in future they will become equal. Okay, so this was all about equality. In some other class, on some other day, we would deal with other fundamental rights. ठीक है? I'm already running, I think, short of time. चलिए. So, thank you very much, all of you, to being with me in this class. Something more about Unacademy. Recently, 6-month batches have started on Unacademy Plus. So this is mission 2021 for next year. It is starting on 30th of November. Now see, three batches are starting. One in English medium, one in Hindi medium, and one batch would be bilingual. Right? One in English medium, one in Hindi medium, one batch would be bilingual. कब start हो रहे हैं? All of them are starting on 30th of November 2020. For how much duration? 6-month duration. Which exam is targeted? Your prelims plus mains of 2021 is targeted. Okay, all these are the features. These are those features which are you getting with every batch. So in these batch also you would be getting the same. But please remember the dates. The dates are 30th November for UPSC 2021, and how much month? 6-month batch would be there. It would be a free come mains batch. Right? So this is about quiz that I have told you. This is Unacademy Aspire All India free mock test possible on every 10th, 17th, 25th, and 30th of every month. You know, there is a quiz, and if you are having rank in top 50 in this quiz, you would be having prizes, and these prizes are really exciting. They are really exciting. You can enroll in them simply by going here from this enroll now. Then 2 years, I think these are 2 years batches. Oh, 1 year batch is there. Three 1 year batches are also starting on 30th of November 2020. Okay, these are for 2023 examination, year after year. All the features would be same. Again, one batch would be in English medium, one batch would be in Hindi medium, and one batch would be bilingual. Okay, चलिए. This is your subscription fee for Plus that I have told you. You can use my code, that is Amit Yadav Foundation, and you would get 10% extra discount by using this code. Okay. Thank you very much.